Hey everyone, it's Sarada and I scribble, and today I'm doing another sketchbook tour, and this is a new one. This is my most recent art, or I can't say it's my most recent art. It's some of my most recent art. I've had this one for about 6 months and I'm ashamed of it because look at this. It's one of those thin things of 40 pages and it took me 6 months to fill it up. Like, oh my goodness. I think the last one I had only took me 3. So yeah, that makes me feel very bad. But it's finished. The last couple of pages were a mad dash to the finish line. Honestly, I drew so much in just a few days. So yeah. And as I said, I've had this one for 6 months. I had it from the 17th of January till the 16th of June. So pretty much exactly 6 months. And on the first page, we have my characters Yoru and Haruka, and I had this song stuck in my head. And basically there's a line in this song, it's a Swedish song, and it's an old song, it's very 80s, early 90s, and there's a line in that song that goes, "She has flowers in her hair that only I can see," and basically I just wanted to illustrate Haruka with flowers in her hair, but that only Yoru can see, and I did it like that because, how do I explain it without it sounding dumb? Basically in this sequence he calls her name and she replies, and then he's just like, it was nothing, because he just wants her to look at him. I don't know, does that make sense? Probably not. Next we have some sketches. I think this one was a turning head practice thing, and this one up and down. Saruke. Not my fursona, by the way. My fursona is named Patricia. And then this sketchbook too is very messy chronology-wise. Not sure if that is a word, because towards the end I had a lot of pages where there was empty space, so I would fill it out with other sketches. So you can see these were from the end of January, but these down here are from the end of June, beginning of June. So there's some pages may have conflicting quality, because I would use empty space to sort of warm up before drawing something else. Anyway, on this page I was probably waiting for an appointment, because this is a sign for a juice bar in our local gallery. And then these two I did art of. This is Scotty, and this one is the hill giant from one of my doodle blogs. There was a crow that crossed the road before me, and it seriously looked both ways and then crossed the road over the crosswalk. It looked amazing. So I just had to draw that little sequence. This one I've also done a video on. It's a doodle page where I take a bunch of colored pencils and then draw a bunch of stuff based on a Pictionary app. It's really fun. That is also, this kind of stuff is also great for warm-up. I was people watching. These two were sitting next to me at a table. She was very cute. And then these two passed by a window, and then these two here I drew at a different location, but the same day. These plant things also came from the same location as those two. This one happened and it has sort of infested my mind. But I drew these, there were a pair of really cute guys that passed by the window as I was sitting at a cafe. So I drew them. Basically they were walking really close, and I think they were looking at one of the guys' phones or something. Either way, they were wearing pretty much the same stuff too, like skinny jeans and a varsity-esque jacket. And they were just very cute, so I had to draw them. And then they sort of took me 2 months, but I gave them names and developed stories for them and everything, because I just really liked the concept. And more on those later. More people watching. And a Valkyrie. I was really into drawing Nordic mythology stuff, or at least stuff based on it, back in spring, early spring, late winter. Nordic mythology has always been one of my favorite mythologies. It's my favorite mythology. So, I don't know, I really just enjoyed doing this. Some random sketches, Maira, Tskino. I really like this one. I don't know, something about like his eyebrows. Now you can see the other... The drawing behind it is ghosting. But yeah, I just really liked his eyebrows and his nose, how they turned out. And then this down here is just warm up. Mass Effect Andromeda happened, and I spent like 2 weeks non-stop gaming. You can see it. The last thing I did, yeah, basically 20th, 30th, and the day after this one, Andromeda was released. So it took 10 days before I drew next, and then it took another 10 days before I started drawing again, so I was very, very, very absorbed by that game. But anyway, this is my writer character. I have drawn a portrait of her for my channel. But yeah, so Claire, writer. Basically, I just wanted to get a better feel for her. Next, I did my characters wearing some different expressions because I felt I was getting back into that same face, same expression thing. I find it really hard to draw different expressions. Like when I just doodle on a whim, I feel like I always use the same face. So I just tried to draw some different expressions. And went pretty well. Tsuki no tsubasa, more tsubasa, and then sigma and epsilon, yoru, more epsilon. Only one I didn't draw was kazu. Now I feel bad. No, Maida too. Okay, that's better. Well, not really, because I kind of want to draw them all. More Nordic mythology. I drew a frost giant. I really like how she turned out. Some random doodles. Maida. I was sitting at a cafe with one of my art friends, and he was drawing a hydra, which was turning out very cool. So I want to draw a hydra too. So I drew a very tiny little hydra. I really like how it turned out. It's cute. And then I drew the boys again. I called them Smiling Yankee. Before they had names, I called them Smiling Yankee. So, Smile, the guy with the side part, I guess, is called Lucas. And the one with the... It's supposed to be sort of a very small pompadour, or a Yankee hairstyle. That's why I call him Yankee. But yeah, his name is Alex, or Alexander, but he goes by Alex. And then I was just messing around with them. Yeah, I sense new characters and a new story coming on. Set it a no, actually set it a yes, because yes. More characters, more stories, yes. Drew this one with my friction pen, actually. Turned out really nice. A little rose. More Smiling Yankee. This is actually the only page where I did something on the horizontal plane, I think. But yeah, just very small character designs of them so I could have a look at their outfits. Portrait of Lucas with actually China marker. And then I tried to line on top of the China marker and realized that the China marker was gunking up the friction pen I was using, so I had to stop. Some miniature doodles, sigma and epsilon, using the pink, or I think it's called pale orange, Koi Sakura marker brush pen. Either way, I was using that, and then I used it on Mars here too. Yeah, I was going into May We Draw Daily here. It didn't go that well this year. I think I managed to get almost 20 days, but I wish I had drawn more. More Smiling Yankee. I haven't named the story yet. The story is just called Smiling Yankee, that's why I keep saying that. But yeah, Lucas, and more Lucas. Lucas has the thing about his ears. He has these really... He has ears that stick out a lot, so I wanted to work with that. He used to wear his hair sort of super poofy, and then he met Alex, and Alex was like, well, you could do stuff with your hair. So yeah, still working on that. And then I have this concept based on an older art piece I've done, and I really want to do it, but I haven't really gotten around to it yet. More Smiling Yankee. And this was fun. I can't remember I think it was actually, I was looking at cute bralettes because I wanted to add some to my collection, and I just felt like drawing Lucas and Alex in bralettes because fuck gender stereotypes, right? And I think Alex is the kind of person who like does whatever he wants. He doesn't really care. So if he wants to wear a skirt or a dress or whatever, he'll do it, and then he pulls Lucas along because why not? And Lucas isn't actually It's not like he doesn't want to, he's just never thought about doing it, so I don't know. I thought it would be cute. And I kind of still want to finish this, like scan it and do a digital version of it because they turned out really, really cute. Random practice stuff. Ooh, there's my doodle poodle. That turned out super cute. I actually have, oh my god, the what's it called? Tripod is in the way, so I can't really pull it up closer without, but yeah, there's my little doodle poodle. I posted her on Instagram. She turned out really cute. And then on this page, this is Mars for Simo's Flower Girl series thing. I was super inspired by her, did a video on it and everything, and it was really fun. Yeah, here I was working on Yankee. I wanted to fill this part with something, but I never got around to it. But yeah, more on Yankee. Alex, his name is Alex. I tried to draw him and I realized I was messing up his hair, like I couldn't get it right, so I did some new ones and put some more effort into it. He looks very childlike here, but I put some more effort into it and it looks better. This is sort of what his hair is supposed to look like. And then some warm-up, anatomy practice stuff, headshot that I finished. This one I really like. It sort of reminds me of what my style used to be like. And I really like it because I kind of want to regain parts of my old style because it was my style. And then some post-practice. Did one of Yankee. No, Smile. Lucas. I did a drawing of Lucas. I'm gonna keep doing this for this entire thing. Oh no. I did this one of Lucas, and then I did some people watching. Let's see, that is a person that I drew. And then the rest here was post-practice. And I think I drew this merman just because it was like the 30th of May, and I realized, oh no, it's mermaid. I haven't drawn any mermaids, so I drew a merman and felt better. Some stuff on Alex, and I just wanted to draw him sort of dressed up in a dress shirt and nice pants. Alex likes wearing high-waisted pants, by the way. He really enjoys that. Thinks it suits him, so yeah. And then my next tattoo, that should happen soon. I really love K-pop, and my favorite K-pop band is Super Junior, and they have honestly changed my life. I would not be the person I am today if it wasn't for Super Junior. So I wanted to get my Super Junior tattoo. And originally it was just going to be the word Norago, which means it's you, and it's the title of my favorite song by them. I was just going to have that written somewhere on my body, but then my friend gave me a suggestion, or like mentioned something I could add to the design, which was like a blue balloon or something, and I liked that idea a lot, and then I sort of had to scrap my original idea. And then just recently I started working on the design again. You can see I started with the balloon and then I added stars. But I think I'm going to settle for something like this with the diamond in the background. These were just some quick doodles of my room because I've rearranged my room. So I just needed some layout stuff so I could see what it would look like. Some Tsukinon Tsubasa. Some really tiny Tsukinon Tsubasa. I also started using my gold pen and stuff so you can see. Let's see, can I get it to be shiny? Yeah, there we go. It's super shiny. I love it so much. I did some hearts over here on this one too. This is their school uniform. I think I messed up the pattern a bit, but yeah. I watched Steven Universe again. I think I mentioned in a previous video that I hadn't watched anything since the episode, what's it called? The last one out of Beach City. So I had 20-some episodes to watch. And besides the Quartz characters, like Jasper and Rose Quartz are kind of my favorites. Jasper especially. Lars is my favorite human character. My favorite non-main character. I just really love him. I loved him from the start. He's really relatable for me. Anyway, so I tried drawing him and it was like 3 a.m. and I was getting so frustrated because I was tired and I couldn't draw and it just sucked. All of these are super sucky. I kind of want to tear the page out, but that defeats the purpose of a sketchbook. So what I did was that I pulled up some screenshots and did a life study. So basically I just redrew him from a bunch of different screenshots and made notes on what I thought was worthy to point out to myself, like to make a note of. And then I also drew like a full illustration because this is what I wanted to do. That was why I was practicing Lars, was because I wanted to draw this. This is also a screenshot redraw. But I just really love how this one turned out. It's like one of my favorite pages in the sketchbook. Or this is actually one of my favorite spreads in the sketchbook. It just turned out really good. And major sparkles. Just so much sparkle. It's really hard to get it to because I have so much light on, you can't really see it. But yeah, so much sparkle. It's so nice. One thing I don't like about these pens is that they bleed through to the other side. I'm not sure if I can peel this up without hurting the paper. Oh yeah, I actually double-sided taped this one, so I can't pull it up. But yeah, not only do the glitter pens or the metallic pens bleed through the paper, this blue marker, it's a blue brush pen. It's the Kuretake Clear Color Real Brush Pen. This one also bleeds through this paper a lot, so I just had to tape a piece of paper down so I could actually draw on that page. And I drew Sigma and Epsilon, and I drew Tsuki no Tsubasa. And I just really like them. It turned out cute. And then this is a concept idea for a piece of art. I want to do Haruka and her siblings. They're named after the 4 seasons, so I want to do stuff with them. That sounds wrong. And this was my initial sketch for my Pride Month piece. I did just last Monday. I like it, but it didn't work with... I should say, I like it in here. I think it's really cute. I like it in the sketchbook, but as a finished art piece, it just didn't work, so I had to do a new one. And I drew more of my kids. At this point, I was way past halfway, and I was starting to feel bad because I wasn't drawing my children. So I just tried to cram in as much art as possible of my kids here at the end. And I think it went okay, but yeah, I drew Tsukino with a strawberry plant. Speaking of strawberry plants, I am going to start posting the stories about these guys online again, and I have a Tumblr page for that that I'm going to link down below, because by the time you see this video I'm pretty sure I'll have at least 2 of the stories up, so if you want to read those stories, check out the link in the description down below. They're really short, not really interesting stories, like it's slice of life-y teenage drama, that kind of stuff. At least the first couple of them, the first 20 or so. So that is what I'm working on. Drew Maida, drawing something that's kind of meta. I added a gold outline to her. And then Sigma and Epsilon. More of my kids. This was during Amanda Lee's stream. I managed to catch one of them again, finally. I feel like I've been missing them for months. But I picked up choose a few of my characters, and then I did a random select of expressions so that I could practice. So Yoda crying, pretty sure he's faking it because he's the drama king after all. And then not sure what kind of face that is, but it's Kazu making that face. I guess it's somewhere in between disgust and fear, maybe? I don't know. Just seems strange. And then a super smiley Akihiko, and Akihiko is Haruka's little brother. Her oldest younger brother. She has 3 younger brothers. And then Haruka, and I made a note that she's probably drunk because she's not really a flirty kind of person. And then here at the bottom I drew Nobuko, which is Kazu's little sister. And she was making a kind of angry face, so I made a note that Kazu is probably busy, even though he promised to play with her. Yeah. This was really fun. I also drew this one at the same time. Tsukino in a kind of grungy fashion. I don't know, I just felt like I was looking at my characters and wondering what kind of style they would have, because they are very mixed in their styles, or they have subtle subtle leans towards certain styles. But I feel like if Tsukino had a style, she would be grunge, because she's the kind that wants to be comfortable. I just really like this for her. And then I drew Haruka in a more preppy outfit, because that is Haruka. She is a very, very nice young lady. She would definitely wear prep. And then Tsubasa in a punky kind of fashion, because if you look at Tsubasa's clothes, he has these pants. Quite literally, these pants are what he's wearing. So he leans towards punk, kind of, but the rest of his outfit doesn't really match the fashion. Either way, I kind of like doing that, giving sort of light suggestions to what characters might be interested in, rather than like framing them into that completely, because that sort of limits me too, because I feel like I can't draw them in any other kind of clothing. Does that make sense? Probably not. And then I wanted to continue that trend, so I drew Epsilon, and I was going to do, emo fashion for him, but it was just not turning out. Like, I lost steam or something, or I hadn't warmed up. I think that was the issue with this one. I hadn't warmed up properly. So his upper body is kind of long compared to his legs, so I should have shortened it. But yeah, so I did this sort of half-finished thing. I outlined it in gold, and then I made a sort of journal entry, basically just explaining to myself why this one isn't finished. And then I pulled out my Posca markers, because I was sorting my art supplies, and got my hands on my Posca markers, and they'd sort of been tucked away for a long time, so I picked those out and did some doodles and added some block coloring around them, and I really like how that looks. This here is not Posca, it's the Sakura Souffle, but the green is Posca. Tsukino and Sigma. Hopefully you've started to recognize my characters if you've been here for a while, but I still kind of want to mention who is who if you're new, so that everyone knows what I'm doing. Some thumbnails, and then I was watching Cox and Scary Game Squad play Little Nightmares, and I just did this little thing here. Looks more like Red Riding Hood, but yeah, I was sort of inspired by that. And then, oh my god, the last few pages, guys. I really like anime. Like, I love anime. There are so many good animes. And I really like mecha anime, I do. Gundam being my favorite series of them all. And Gundam has been kind of disappointing, because I haven't really liked a Gundam series since Gundam Seed Destiny. And that's a very long time ago. But yeah, I really liked Gundam Wing, and I really liked Gundam Seed and Seed Destiny. So when this one came on, I gave it a chance, just like all the other Gundam series. I've given them a chance, but none have stuck until this one. And this is Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. And it's so good. Like, seriously good. And it has 50 episodes, and it's heart-wrenchingly good. This here is the main character, you could say. His name is Mikazuki, and I love him. He is super precious in a very apathetic way. Like, he has very little personality, honestly, but I love him. He is so adorable and so determined and doesn't care about anything, honestly, but I love him. Like, I finished this series, and like, they can't make more of it. It is done. It is finished. There is no more Iron-Blooded Orphans, and it made me so sad. I was going home from IKEA with my mom, and we had stuffed the car full, so I had to sit behind her in the back seat, and I could not stop thinking about these characters and how sad I was about them. Like, oh my goodness, I thought I would cry about an anime in the back of my mom's car, but I just love them so much. Oh my lord. So, to quell my onslaught of emotions, I decided to draw my favorite characters, because that's sort of what I do. When I can't deal with my feels, I draw them. Which is why sometimes you see a ton of fan art, and then it goes a ton of pages, and then I do another ton of fan art. I don't do a lot of fan art, unless I'm having a hard time dealing. But yeah, so this first page is just a bunch of Mikazuki. I did the same thing here as I did with Lars, so these are screenshot redraws. I tried a couple of different things. You can see I hatched his hair, and then I cross-hatched to shade it. This here is my watercolor pencils. This is just pure Fidelnoske ink. More cross-hatching. And then on this page, more Mikaski. But on these two, I actually used my Inktense pencils, and they worked great. Like, this is really thin paper, and it did kind of buckle, but as you can see, it didn't really ghost a lot either if I was careful. Here's the other one that is supposed to be back here. They just worked really well on this paper if I was careful with the amount of water I was using. I used a water brush to get it down, and it just turned out really, really good. Like, it didn't ruin the paper or anything, it buckled a little. I'm surprised. So I kind of want to dedicate a whole one of these to just Inktense drawings because it worked so well. Again, filled out entirely with Fidelnoske and then some more hatching, shading here. And then I also, of course, I had to draw two of my other favorite characters because these three kind of work as a trio. They're really cute together, amazingly awkward, and amazingly dumb funny, but they're so cute together. So I drew Atora and this girl down here is Kuderia. They are so cute together, oh my god, and I love them so much. So freaking much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm not talking about it, but I just don't want to spoil anything because the series is so freaking good. Just go watch it if you like Gundam things. I love it. And it makes me so sad. Anyway, so I drew some practice stuff of Kuderia and Atora too because I wanted to do a piece with them all together. And that is this one. And it turned out really cute. As you can see here, there is some pretty bad ghosting right here. And that's because I had too much water when I inked in Mikaski's face. His hair. When I inked that in, I had too much water and it bled through the paper, so taught me that as long as I control the water output, I can actually put down the Inktense pencils pretty nice. So I used it on their hair, so I just colored in their hair and then added some hatching to add contrast. And I really like this as my last page because it turned out really nice. And I love my children. Yeah, this is the last page of this sketchbook and I feel like I talked forever. I'm sorry if this video is long, but I love my kids. I love these kids. I just spewed it all onto this sketchbook apparently. But yeah, so that was the end of this sketchbook. Yeah, that's that. Thank you so much for watching. Please do, if you haven't, take a moment to subscribe. You can hit that button, join in for more fun art videos if you're new. You can also follow me on my various social media. Links to those will also be down below, as well as to my Etsy and my Redbubble store. Check those out if you'd like. Until next time, keep on scribbling, friends. Bye!